housing market in Pitt County, North Carolina.
But first, let's hit it. Hi, it's Alan Victoria. Welcome to our channel podcast.
And if this is your first time in our podcast YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe and get notified.
Honestly, call and text all the time at 252-327-3357. We love talking to you. Do not be shy. Also, don't forget to grab our buyer's guide and seller's guide in the description below.
Exactly. Now, we wanted to break down all the numbers and statistics for you in Pitt County, North Carolina, and give you some recommendation as a home buyer and home seller.
We do these things because sometimes we talk about a specific neighborhood, a specific city, because Pitt County is bigger, but I think having a bigger, broader picture of what's going on in the market actually helps us and helps you so you can see what is going on, because maybe you just watched the Winterville video and you didn't watch the Farmville video. I do recommend also checking out the Pitt County one, because now you can see a broader scope of what's happening than just the one number that the city in which you live in. And because, broader pictures are broader pictures, and it's always a good thing, but it's still very much a local market. So let's start talking about the numbers.
Exactly. We're gonna start with the inventory, and inventory really is active homes and those that are under contract. We call it pending, which is a little bit different from what you use. And active homes in months that we just finished, month of July, was 262 homes, and the under the contract was 192.
Right, so these are much bigger numbers than what we're seeing. That's why I tell you bigger numbers. The month before that was 232 for active and 172 for pending, and then the year before that was 267, and then pending was 182. So you can actually see we're almost similar to last year on a broader scope.
Exactly, and if you look at the sold homes in July 2023, we had 160 homes sold. A month before, in June, I actually sold 192, which was 30 homes more. And a year at this point, how much was it?
234, and this is where the numbers lie, because the actual homes sold is much less than last year. Less than last year. Which means for active plus pending for this month was 454. What about last month?
And last month, I don't want it to go there.
Okay.
Basically, the inventory rate, as my wife said, is that active homes plus the under contract divided by sold homes, which brings us to what numbers?
This is the inventory rate, which just gives us our down and dirty number. Is it a buyer's market? Is it a seller's market? How long is it going to take to buy a home in this area? So with the numbers we talked about, 454 divided by 162, the current rate is 2.8 months, which is actually higher last year, not because of the inventory, because we have a lot of new construction, but it is because of how many actually sold.
Exactly. And
what about the month before that?
Last month was 2.1 months. Therefore, we had a good jump of 0.7 months. And a year before, in July 2022, was 1.92 months. Therefore, definitely we had increase of inventory.
And I also want to point out we have a lot of new construction around here. And what is driving the market nationwide is 31% of all home buyers right now are actually buying new construction. We have a lot of new construction in our area, so you would not be alone in buying something brand new. Now, with that said, also, what they put new construction in the dirt and the MLSs many times. That means before there's a home, you can already buy this house. It's going to be there because they've already planned it out. But it goes from, and it can take up to a year to build a home. So you can see, and it doesn't always, people don't buy on dirt typically. They buy after there's been a frame or something like that. So with all of that said, the average days on the market is much longer right now. It is 59 right now.
Well, it's shorter than month before in June, which was 69. And definitely last year was 12 days. Therefore, we had a huge jump from last year. And that's basically a lot of increase.
Right. It is a huge number of increase. And like I said, when we get breakdown where that construction and for previously owned versus new construction is, that's really going to drive it. Now, this month, let's look at the median list price versus the median sales price. Because again, I see a lot of new construction in these numbers. The median list price for all of Pitt County was $322,990.
Versus the sale price in July was $285,498.
Now, the previous month before that was $337, so it actually looks $500, which means that there has a median list price have gone down. But however, the sales price also has gone down a little bit because that was $290 and $253 last month.
Exactly. And if you compare it with the last year, wanted to see how market is. Last year, the median list price was $313,990 and the sell price was $265. And that means that we have definitely median sold price went 7.73% increase.
Right. Now let's talk about where those numbers lie. We like to give you the down and dirty number of what the houses are going to tend to go for. If you're looking at, as a buyer, you should know this. As a seller, you should know this. Do you want to sell your home? Do you want to buy a home? Look at these numbers because it really gives you a detail. So for my husband typically does new construction and I typically do pre-owned. So tell me about new.
Yes, if you're looking at all type of homes, including condo, townhouse, single family homes, this number for brand new was in median price per square feet was $169.
Now, with new construction is also the same that with single family homes and townhomes and condos, because most new construction is going to be single family home in our area. Now, when we're talking about pre-owned homes, it's a little different. So if you're looking at a condo, a townhome, and also a single family home, just the average data on that one is $142 per square foot for a previously owned home. However, the previously owned single family homes, the price is $155 per square feet. So the sold to listed ratio, want to tell me your sold to listed ratio?
Definitely we had the more sold to listed ratio. We had 168 to 110, which had decrease of 59.1%. And price reduction, actually we had more price reduction, 49 homes, which brings us to 44.1% of the increase.
Now let's talk about, as I told you before, we have a lot of new construction here and it's kind of driving the market right now, definitely in all of Pitt County. Now here where I'm going to break down exactly why. Now, if you look at all of Pitt County, everywhere from Fountain to Ayden to Greenville and everywhere in between, Bethel, July 2023, there was 3.6 months of supply of new construction. What about previously owned?
And the previously owned was 0.9 months. And if you're looking at the months before, in June 2023, we had actually 4 months. Therefore, we had a little bit actually decreased respect to the month of June.
You're talking about new construction.
Exactly. But 4 months. And for the pre-owned, we had 0.7 months.
Right. So you can see we actually had a little bit more previously owned home. We have a little less new construction, which brings us totals there. But you can see there's a lot of new construction and that's just kind of driving the market right now. Now, when we look at our medium home values, because we don't like you to look at other...
How many months we have the inventory?
According to all of that would be 1.4, but it's deceptive because 3.6 months of new construction versus 0.9 months of previously owned means that there's not a lot of previously owned homes.
Exactly.
What people are buying right now is new construction. It's just looking at the numbers. That's where the data goes.
Is that like 4 times more than the previous?
That's just where the supply is.
And now my wife is going to break down the mean home value that you can also looking at it in Zillow.
Which we don't recommend, but we do know that you're going to look at it, so we might as well tell you what is being said there too. So July 2023, they say $232, then $2, $232,002 for medium home sale prices in July 2023. The previous month before that was $232,109. Which means that it went down less than about $100. And then last year at this time was $218, so it was actually still up from last year because it's always good to have that broader view than that month over month view, which means it was a 7.1% increase.
Exactly. Therefore, the houses appreciated from last year 7.1%.
Mm-hmm. Now, what about that rent?
Rent actually in a median rent price in whole Pitt County was $1,300. And of course, if you go to the Winterville, for example, you have $1,600 to $1,700. If you go to Ayden, is $1,100. Therefore, this is like a really average of all those towns in the Pitt County, North Carolina.
Now, if you were going to say if you're a home buyer and you can afford that $1,300 or more, because I do recommend more, I would really try to say 2 things. I would say if you can afford a little more than that, you should seriously be considering getting your act together in order to buy a home. Houses continue to increase. There is a 7.73% increase since last year. There is less people competing against you, which is also a very good thing for you, which means you can actually pick the house that you want. There's still homes out there. And if you can afford new construction, you can afford, I'm going to say, if you are coming in with like just the bare minimums, about $2,000 a month, and I don't know your schedule, I do not know your life, I'm just giving you the bare minimums, then you should definitely be considering new construction and having something of your own as well. Because now's the time to buy because you can make a deal. When the market is hot and swinging, it's harder to get into a home. It's actually easier to get into a home now. So I would take advantage of this opportunity.
Exactly. As my wife said, we have more new construction in the market, and that 3.6, that's how drive the market, and you have less competition. Now, for home sellers, is a little bit different.
Now, prices are still increasing. So that's a great thing for you if you're looking to buy your home, sell your home. You're going to get premium dollars. It's still a good time to sell. We are not at that 6-month mark, so it is still technically a seller's market. As long as you're pricing competitively, you understand that you're competing against new construction, and you've made your house an investment that makes people want to consider your home over those things. Also, understanding those benchmark numbers that we gave you are just benchmark numbers, like that 162, 142. It depends on what you've done with the home, because if your home is gorgeous and a showpiece, you're getting premium dollars. And if your home needs a lot of work, we're going to be honest with you and say, hey, these things need to be fixed in order for you to get the premium dollar for your home. Or you can sell it with less and then just get less dollars, and that's always an option too.
Exactly. And then if you definitely been looking forward to working with you, do you want to add anything?
No, we're very excited for meeting. If you're a buyer or you're a seller, we help everybody, and we love helping everybody.
And don't forget to call us at 252-327-3357. Alan, Victoria, we are here to help you, and also support our channel by subscribing and write us the comment. We love to hear from you, and talk to you soon.